What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, while the rumor mill is about as active as we've ever seen it with casting rumors, and mostly because of the Fantastic Four, I would argue that there is one casting left during the Multiverse saga that is easily more important than all the others, and that's obviously the recast of Kang the Conqueror, or whatever Kang Prime variant they end up presenting as the antagonist for the Multiverse saga. And it's not just because this is the next big bad after Thanos and has to end the saga. It's mostly because of the pressure Marvel Studios have put on themselves by deciding to let go of Jonathan Majors. You can't have an actor come in and do a worse job. There's already an established bar for this character. They've got to meet or exceed it. And of course, in this world where everybody has an opinion whether it's a good take or not, there's no way they're going to make everybody happy, meaning they've got to nail this casting. Now, we haven't heard a ton in the way of names, only one in Coleman Domingo, but today, and coming from that exact same industry insider source, we're now hearing a second name that Marvel Studios may be considering for that role. And while we may not hear anything officially, and there's a reason for that, we'll talk about that during this video, Marvel Studios does not have unlimited time before they need to start rolling on Avengers 5, which means eventually this matter needs to be solved, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. We're going to break down the newest name tied to Kang the Conqueror's recast role, who said it, why we can believe it, and what other industry insiders have said about the Kang recast and what our expectations should be. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner. Again, all you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so as I mentioned moments ago in the prologue, and you may have heard, Coleman Domingo is the only name that's been presented as a possible interest for recasting Kang the Conqueror in Marvel Studios that originated with scoopster Daniel RPK. Well, today he added another name, and this is exactly what he said via an update on Patreon earlier today, quote, "I've heard another name in the mix, John David Washington, known for his performances in films like Tenet and The Creator, is being considered for the role of Kang in the MCU. Now, before we talk about this just a little bit, I want to make sure to mention, because I know these were a ton of comments on the last video, and I am right there with you guys. I do not think Marvel Studios should have let go of Jonathan Majors in the first place, and I think the best thing that they could do is rehire the actor in an official announcement. However, as a pragmatist and a realist and somebody who's been looking from the outside in and reporting on this kind of stuff and for half a decade now, I just don't see that happening. I think if that was going to have happened, they perhaps would not have let go of him in the first place. And so yes, while he did give his two first public interviews on a Disney-owned company in ABC, and it sort of looked like that for just a moment, they've also since, and Disney dropped magazine dreams to allow him to shop it to other studios. And if anyone in Hollywood is paying attention, I think they should go ahead and either pick up that film or hire Jonathan Majors for a role, because they're going to garner a ton of good favor with an audience that wants to see him succeed. Sadly, I just don't think that will be back in the MCU. Now, when it comes to John David Washington, I think he would be a great cast. He's on a short list of actors that I think could play the role, but as I mentioned during the prologue, this is where I think Marvel Studios runs into a huge snag, because you can go get anybody that's willing to play the role. I think there's going to be some actors who are going to turn it down, like Jonathan Boyega did on Twitter, publicly immediately shooting it down when someone tweeted at him and he wanted nothing to do with it. I think there are actors who are going to turn it down, but I think there are other actors who, even in spite of Jonathan Majors having the role first, if they're interested in being in the superhero genre, would consider this role. I'm just not sure how many of them are going to be able to live up to the actual acting of Jonathan Majors and the bar he's already set. And if they get someone who quite doesn't cut it and on film, then they're going to be in for an even bigger disappointment than if they had just pivoted out of Kang in the first place and left it where it was, or just kept Jonathan Majors. Basically what I'm saying is they've made this extra complicated. Then you add on the layer of complication that they can't wait forever. This is not something that can just hang in the air that Marvel Studios can ignore and, until they decide to do something about it. That's what we heard from real recently. Industry insider Casey Wall said, look, you're not going to hear about Kang recasting in anytime soon. They've got a minute to sit on that, which he's a trusted source and he does have a point. But they're not going to be able to just decide in late December, if they're rolling film on this in spring of next year, oh my God, we've got to go find a Kang the Conqueror. While I would argue that probably giving it a lot of space would make that recasting easy, because hey, listen, we have a ton of stuff going on in the world. People's attention spans are extremely short. Things might not feel and look the same way they do at the end of this year that they do right now, as far as taking that role and right after Jonathan Majors has been fired. But again, Marvel Studios can't sit on this indefinitely. They've got to get that role replaced if they're ultimately going to keep him as the villain in Avengers 5 and or Avengers 6, and what I think will probably end up being the Beyonder, given everything we already know about the film. So while there are some awesome names out there that Marvel Studios may be interested in, like Coleman Domingo, and now John David Washington, and I know we've seen concept art of his dad Denzel Washington as Kang as well, I just wonder how many A, of these actors aren't interested in the first place, B, don't want to take the role after Jonathan Majors, or C, might have been great picks from the beginning, but now might not be able to do the same as Jonathan Majors did and actually be lesser in the role, which would be a huge L for Marvel Studios in a time when they can't afford to take one. But as always, you guys let me know your thoughts down below. If it's got to be a recast, which it's absolutely looking like it is, who do you have in the role? How would you feel about John David Washington? And if not him, who would you like to see? I am all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel, well, until they either announce the PlayStation 5 Pro or the PlayStation 6, regardless, whatever comes first. In the meantime, we're going to do so with every major Marvel drop this year. So X-Men 97, Deadpool and Wolverine, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Marvel Zombies, whatever else comes out from the MCU, we are going to give away a PS5. We already announced 2 winners right in the last month or so, and it's super simple to be entered to win, either for these PS5 giveaways or any future announcements for other giveaways here at the channel. All you got to do, be a subscriber, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced at the end of videos, live with my voice and the comments shown on screen, so please be safe and vigilant on YouTube or really any other platform. Remember, anybody can use any other content creator's photo, claim to be that content creator, then try to get you to pay for shipping for a giveaway that doesn't exist. No YouTuber will ever jump in the comments to tell you you've won, and of course no YouTuber will ever charge you for shipping. So if you should get a comment like that either on YouTube, some other channel, or some other platform, just make sure to report it to the actual respective platform. They are real fast about deleting those accounts. Really, you're doing everybody a service, not just the content creator, but everybody who's going to get comments and spam from that account a service once it's banned. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, under the name All Fires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.